Nigga, you almost got yourself killed.
You gonna kill me, Rashad?
Hey, look, man.
You really want to see my brothers bury me?
You know I don't want that.
How's she know?
This ain't just another episode, this is a war zone. And after what went down in episode 8, episode 9 is about to expose who's loyal, who's broken, and who's next. If you thought things couldn't get any worse, just wait. Episode 9 kicks off with heavy emotion weighing down every corner of the South Side. Emmett's name is on everybody's lips. From his family crying at his bedside to the streets ready to ride behind his name. What happened last episode ain't something folks just gonna move on from. Emmett is more than just another dude from the block. He's a symbol, a brother, a son, a businessman, a father, and now a victim. And when someone like that gets hit, it sends shockwaves everywhere. Kesha is completely broken. Her world is spinning out of control, and the man she loves might not make it. Her tears in that hospital room ain't just fear, they're fury. She's remembering every moment they built together. And now, it's all hanging by a thread. And Tiffany, she might be in that hospital too, but don't sleep. Alicia pulls up with a plan. A plan born out of pain, revenge, and strategy. Because now, Alicia sees the bigger picture. No more rules, no more mercy. Meanwhile, Pastor Zeke steps into the spotlight. His voice echoes in the trailer like a warning. Gun violence has plagued our city. But this ain't just a sermon. It's a direct shot at what's been going down under Duda and Alicia's leadership. Pastor Zeke ain't here to play politics. He's ready to call it like it is. And now, with Emmett clinging to life, the church is back in the middle of the chaos. The question is, will Zeke speak truth to power, or get pulled into the game himself? And then there's Reggie. Let's talk about this man right here. Reggie thought he was making a statement when he pulled that trigger. But now, he's facing a nightmare. He didn't just shoot a man, he lit a fire. Victor's done with him. Jake wants nothing to do with him. Even Nook is on edge, and that's dangerous, because Nook don't take betrayal lightly. In fact, we hear him say the same words Emmett told Duda once before. The whole city gonna be on your ass. That ain't just a warning, it's a prophecy. And Reggie knows. Nook makes a bold move in this episode. He's out for answers. He wants eyes on Reggie, and not just to talk. The energy's shifting. You can feel it. We're entering retaliation territory, and when Nook throws Jake up against that wall in the trailer, that's not just anger, that's desperation. Because this ain't just about street politics anymore, this is personal. And anyone connected to Reggie, they about to feel the heat. At the same time, Darnell and Jada are drowning in grief. Seeing their son shot, lifeless, torn between heaven and earth, Tit crushes them. Jada's been fighting her own battles with cancer, and now this. It's too much. You can see it in her eyes, the sorrow, the fear, the rage.
Why are we talking at the
Darnell,
house?
who's usually smooth with the jokes, ain't cracking smiles this time. He's losing his boy and he can't do nothing but pray. Meanwhile, Damien, the real wild card in all this mess, is spiraling. Let's be real. Damien is the reason the block's on fire right now. His gambling, his selfish decisions, his carelessness, it all led to this. And now, he's walking around talking about making promises.
You got my note, right?
Man, please. The streets ain't got time for redemption arcs. When people getting buried,
One of y'all
Emmett's in the hospital because Damien couldn't handle his demons. And now he wanna make amends. It's too little, too late. Then we've got Alicia. Plotting. You already know when she steps into a room, something's about to move. She don't just react, she plans.
Put some jelly on
And
your
this time,
jelly and be
she's
full
got
for the
something
rest of the
brewing.
day.
When she
You
visits
Dominic?
Tiffany, it ain't
Don't
just
nobody
to
call me
check
that.
in, it's to recruit.
Well, you the chick I-
Alicia knows that with Emmett down, there's a power vacuum. And power don't sit
But what I
still.
told you.
For long in Chicago, she's about to make a move that could shake up the whole
This is
season.
not
But as all this
sanitary.
unfolds, you can't ignore the quiet observer in the shadows, Detective Toussaint. She's watching everything. And when we see her watching Reggie from a distance, it's a chilling reminder. The law might move slow, but it moves. And Toussaint ain't forgotten what kind of man Reggie really is. She's got her eye on him. And when she moves,
Glad to see
it's
them
with
getting
precision.
along.
Announcements
Reggie
made.
might have more enemies than he realizes.
LaPortia and I.
And then there's
What to be
Jake,
afraid of.
stuck in the middle, watching his
Duda's
family crumble. His brother just shot one of his closest friends, nuts flipping out. Victor's disgusted. Jake's torn between loyalty and logic. And in that hospital hallway, when he tells Reggie,
Chicago
you
has
didn't have to shoot him. It hits different, because Jake knows what's real. He knows pain. And now he's watching his own brother become the villain. Meanwhile, the streets are bubbling. The people ain't calm. Word travels fast, and Emmett's name carries weight. Folks are lighting
What else am I
candles,
supposed to use?
posting tributes, making threats. There's a storm coming. And every single character, whether they're on the block, in a pulpit, in a hospital bed, or behind a desk there about to feel the thunder. And we still haven't seen that moment from the trailer, Emmett hugging Jada, showing her the ring. That's the clue right there. That scene ain't aired yet. And if that's still coming, it means one thing. Emmett survives. Barely. But survival don't mean peace. It means change. Because once you take a bullet and make it back, you don't come back the same. The aftermath of that shooting isn't just about Emmett, it's about everyone connected to him. And in episode 9, we start seeing how the shockwaves hit every circle. First up, the streets. Word is out. Emmett got shot, and people ain't just connected, organizing. You can feel the shift in energy, like something dangerous is bubbling under the surface. Reggie's name is flying out of mouths like venom. And even though he tried to justify what he did, the city don't want reasons, they want justice. Reggie is shook. He's walking around trying to act tough, but the fear's creeping in. He knows he crossed a line, and there ain't no easy way to walk it back.
You writing it on your
Victor
phone?
throws him out.
Charles.
Jake cuts him off, and even Nuck is putting him on notice. The same Nuck who once would have gone to war for him is now saying, nah,
Neither do
you
I.
on your own. That's real. Reggie's a man with no allies right now, and when the walls start closing in, people like him do desperate things. That's the scariest part. Jake is stuck between heartbreak and fury. Emmett is like a brother to him. They've been through the mud together, and to see Reggie, the same man who raised him, put a bullet in Emmett, that's betrayal on a whole different level. Jake's wrestling with it. You can see it in his face. His loyalty to his brother is tearing at him, but at the same time, he knows what's right. And in this episode, we see Jake lean more into that truth. He ain't picking Reggie this time. He's standing with Emmett. And speaking of Emmett, even though he's laid up in the hospital, his presence is loud. His name is ringing through every conversation. Darnell is pacing the hallways, cursing the world, blaming himself for not being there. Jada's at his side, broken but praying. And Kesha, she's sitting in that chair, staring at the man she loves, thinking about all the promises they made. Emmett was supposed to propose. They had plans.
You didn't need me
and
anymore.
now, every plan is paused, waiting on a heartbeat to steady. Meanwhile, Alicia is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Her visit to Tiffany isn't some casual pull-up, it's strategy. She knows Emmett, getting shot creates an opportunity. The city is emotional, the streets are off balance, and now's the perfect time for her to slide into power. She's been watching how everyone moves, and now she's making her own. When she says she has an idea, best believe that idea ain't small, it's something that could shake the whole structure Duda built. Let's talk about Duda for a second. Man's been silent since the shooting, but silence with Duda, that's never a good sign. He's processing, calculating. Duda don't move off emotion,
So
he
he's just
waits.
gonna be driving
And you
around
better
with
believe
no-
he's thinking about what this means for his
Streets
empire.
always gonna have a
Emmett was
villain.
supposed to be under his umbrella. This shooting makes him look weak, exposed.
Did you need to get drunk?
And
I
Duda,
asked you
he don't
something.
like looking weak.
Please.
He's probably thinking about how to clean this up. Whether that means cutting Reggie loose, or someone else. Pastor. Zeke is also caught in the crossfire of all this chaos. His speech in the trailer ain't just about the city, it's about his own heart. Zeke sees how far things have fallen. He thought bringing the church into politics would fix something, but now he sees it just made everything murkier. Alicia's out for blood. Duda's out for control. And Emmett, the man Zeke once prayed would be the futurist fighting for his life, Zeke is at a breaking point, and when a man like that breaks, he either runs or rises. Victor is rising. You can see the fire in his eyes. Reggie might be his brother, but Emmett was his people. Victor, don't forget loyalty. He knows who's real. And when he tells Reggie to get out, that's a final decision. Ain't no coming back from that.
Boy, if you don't get
Victor's
up
stepping
and
up
pull the chair
now,
out,
maybe to lead, maybe to protect. But one thing's for sure, he ain't letting this slide. Somebody has to bring balance back to the block. And if nobody else will, Victor's ready to carry that weight. And we can't forget Tucson. She's watching everything. She's quiet, lurking, but alert. She knows Reggie is dangerous, and she's got history with him. This ain't the first time she's got him on her radar. But this time, it's different. She's seeing an opening, and if Tucson makes a move, It won't just be about Reggie.
I'm gonna start my
about
own church.
everybody tied to this chain of
Those
violence.
not your words.
Her son is still at risk.
Which
Her
one?
badge still
Which
holds
one you
weight,
think?
and she's ready to use it.
Emmett.
And Damien, man, forget this dude. Damien's walking around with guilt dripping off him, but guilt don't mean much after the damage is done. He says
I
he's going
promise
to
I
make a
won't be too
promise.
thorough, okay?
That's cute. But where was all
No,
this
it's just a
loyalty
reminder
before
that
Emmett
maybe I
got shot?
You
Where
wanna
was
know
this
what this
clarity
is?
when he was blowing money, making
What is
reckless
it?
moves, bringing chaos into Emmett's life? He's trying to make it right. But the
No, we
truth
can
is,
go.
you can't put a band-aid on a bullet wound. Damien
Keisha.
might be too far gone. His time might be running out. Through all this chaos. Though, one truth
How's life?
keeps echoing. Emmett's
Life is
life
life.
changed everything.
Your mom
Whether he
deserves
pulls
that.
through or not,
You do.
nothing will ever be the same.
Anyone you
The city's
disrespect me,
eyes are open now. The alliances
you.
are fragile.
Should get you
The streets
emotional.
are boiling.
I know.
And everybody's
That's what I
asking the same question.
If I
What
knew the
happens
answer to
next?
that, he and
Because
I
this
would
ain't just
speak
about
more.
who got shot. It's about who steps up, who breaks, who betrays, and who survives. The city already decided. Reg ain't just in the wrong.
Our
He's
life.
public enemy number one.
You mean our
His
life?
name is being dragged through barbershops, block
Starting my
corners,
own church
group
was a little
chats,
harder
and
than-
hustlers.
What is it?
Meetings
Promise
like it's
me you won't do
poison.
that. Girl,
That bullet he
it's
sent
about
into
your
Emmett
son.
wasn't just
What you
metal, it
mean?
was a message. But
Show
it
me that
backfired,
dick.
because now everyone sees Reg for what he really is. Reckless, out of control,
You
and
better,
bad
man.
for business. He wanted respect, but now he's got a target on his back instead.
So now you want to
And
slow
in
down,
episode
get a little
9,
halfway
it
out.
becomes clearer than
can
ever
be
Egg
whatever
might have
you want it
sealed
to
his
be.
own fate.
What do
Nuck
you
is
want it to
hunting. He's moving fast, asking questions, calling in favors. The same Nuck who once stood silent, just playing the middle, is now in full beast
Thank you.
mode. And when Nuck starts pressing folks, you know it's serious. He's telling
Yeah, Pop
people
said
to
you
find
always
Reg,
getting into some
not
shit.
tomorrow,
Where to go?
not
We
later.
gonna be exploring
Now
new
that's
places.
the kind of urgency that
Living our
screams blood in the
lives.
water. And the craziest part, Nuck don't even need to pull the trigger himself.
dad brought that
He just
Hennessy.
needs to whisper the right name into the
You know
right
that.
ear, and Reg is done. Because now it
I
ain't
know
about
it.
orders, it's about respect. And Reg lost all his.
Tiff left me.
Even Reggie's old crew is starting to turn on him.
Dang it.
People who once rode for him, who looked up to him, are backing
Maybe.
away. The
You
way
are
he
far.
handled Emmett.
Surprise,
It made him
surprise.
look sloppy.
And you taught me
weak,
everything I know,
scared.
and I
Fuck
Nobody
them.
wants to follow a man who shoots first and thinks never. And now that
You
Victor
crazy?
turned his
I
back,
mean, word on
Reg
the
got
street is
no
you walking
political
around here with
cover,
a
no street clout, and no family backing. He's out here moving solo. And in the Chi,
You ready?
that's a death sentence. And Reg
Oh,
knows it.
high-rise
You can
apartment
see it in
looking
how
over
he walks.
downtown there.
The paranoia's
I want you
creeping
to be
in.
the last ex
He's
I get
watching
back with.
shadows,
What?
jumping at
No.
sounds. That tough guy mask is slipping. The pride's
How do
still
you
there.
all
He'll
know each
never
other?
admit he messed up, but he knows. That bullet made noise,
and
and now the block is
He
echoing
owes you
with
an
payback.
apology. I know he ain't-
Meanwhile, Emmett's condition
But he
is
also
still
said you've
touch
been
and
good at
go.
getting out,
He's
too.
in the ICU tubes, machines,
Why are you
nurses
telling us this
rushing,
on
in
Thanksgiving?
and out.
I wanted to
And while his body
terrorized
fights,
the city
his
long
loved ones
enough.
are at war with
Women,
each
we
other.
have to do
Kesha
something.
is
We get
barely
each
holding
other.
it together. She's blaming herself, blaming the city,
He's
blaming the
been really
violence that
quiet
just
since
won't
his
stop.
dad was killed.
And Jada, she's staring down death again.
This ain't your house?
First it was her cancer. Now it's her son. She's praying, but
You need a
deep
hug,
down,
nigga?
she's furious. Her baby is lying
You gonna
in a
talk
hospital
about what
bed.
happened to you
And
in
for
foster
what?
care?
Till
Because
realize
a man couldn't
I have a
control
lot of
his
learning to
temper.
do.
Darnell's
Okay.
trying to be the rock,
Oh.
but his emotions are
What
slipping
do you do?
too. Seeing Emmett in
I
that
heard
bed
legs if you are
unlocked
who you
something
say
in
you
him
are.
up, protective
Then let me
rage.
see it.
He's been in the game long enough to know how this ends. He's lost people before, and he don't want to
Me and
bury his
Keisha.
son. So now
Shouldn't be
Darnell's
spreading
thinking
myself
crazy,
around like this.
thinking about revenge,
Let me guess. if I
about
live
making
this,
No,
somebody
I don't mean
pay.
it like that.
And when a father gets pushed that far, anything can happen. Then there's Pastor Zeke, still trying to be
It's
a
a long
voice of
story.
reason while everything falls apart.
Well, I've got time.
He's preaching about
Now,
peace, about
what's the
hope,
occasion?
about change.
Well,
but
I
he
heard what
knows
Darnell
his
said.
words are falling on deaf
You
ears.
said that?
The streets don't want sermons. They
We
want
deserve to have
solutions.
her here.
They want action. And Zeke,
You have your
he's
own
stuck in the
life.
middle.
Like what?
He doesn't want to be another puppet for
Protect
Duda or
yourself.
Alicia. But standing up means
So you gave
making
me-
enemies. It means risk. And in the Chi,
just wanna
when
know
you
how I can
stand
beat up
tall,
to him.
you make yourself a target. Jake's unraveling too. He's been through so much losing. Kevin, losing his
Baby,
trust in Reggie.
who gonna read it?
Watching his
Coulda told
friends
you
bleed
that.
out, and now it's all crashing in.
I'd like to
He's
come back.
trying to keep calm, but the guilt is crawling under his skin.
Bound to happen at some
Maybe
point.
if he'd talked Reggie down. Maybe if he stayed with Emmett that day. Maybe.
Emmett,
But the
what we
truth
wanted
is,
you to know,
Jake can't fix
I'm gonna
it.
put it out there.
And that helplessness, it's eating him alive. Alicia is keeping her cards close, but her eyes are wide open. She
I
knows a
wanna
power
kiss him,
shift is
I'm
coming.
saying.
She's had plans before, but now she's working
I
with
wanna
real
do this shit
urgency.
on
Visiting Tiffany in the hospital isn't just emotional, it's tactical. She needs to build an army.
and Emmett
And
used to
tip,
date,
she might
but then
just
they
be
broke
willing
up.
to join.
Wait.
Not because she's
can't
cold,
clean up your
but
daddy's
because
mess.
she's tired.
I understand.
Tired of watching people she
Trying to
loves
get out of
get
some shit
hurt.
right now.
Alicia's words
Same.
hit different now. Because this ain't about
Of
business
course I'm gonna make sure there's
anymore.
someone to look
it's
out
about
for you.
survival.
We have to
Dot
clean
and
up
Duda.
these streets
We still haven't
ourselves.
heard from him
Before
yet.
these hoodlums
That
get
silence
home.
is dangerous.
We need
He's
to
not
be
the
together.
type to let things play out
How
without
much
putting
do
his
you
fingerprint
expect
on
him
it.
to talk?
He might be watching
I don't
everything from a
expect him to talk
distance,
too much.
but don't forget Duda always moves in shadows.
What the fuck
Always
you want,
waits
nigga?
for the perfect moment to strike. And if he sees Reg as a liability, you can bet
You gonna
Duda
talk
will
about
handle
killing
it
a nigga that killed
permanently.
Coogie?
Tucson is still trailing Reg, quietly, strategically, watching
It's not
his
that
movements,
easy.
gathering
I know,
intel. She knows there's a bigger game at play. And even though she's
Look,
dealing with her own drama
you
with her
lucky I'm
son
desperate.
being in danger and all, she's not distracted. If
Wanna
anything,
be
that's
together.
fueling her fire. She sees this as her chance to shut something down, to end the cycle. And if that means taking Reg off the map,
you were gonna
so
give it
be
up.
it. And let's not
It would
forget,
help.
we still ain't seen
Wanna
that
be with you
trailer
for
moment
good.
Emmett hugging Jada with that ring in his hand. That one scene is hope. A reminder that not everything is lost.
And then
That maybe,
me
just
and
maybe,
Emmett got back
Emmett
together,
survives this.
and
I have to give you
But
one,
survival
so
comes
I'm
with
gonna do it for
scars.
him.
And scars
Emmett,
change people.
that's
When
so
Emmett
You all right?
wakes up because deep down we know he won't be the
Just
same.
tell
This
you both
shooting
at
is
the
going
same
to shift him
time.
permanently. No more
What
playing
about me?
nice. No more second chances.
You planning
Emmett's coming
revenge?
back different,
Oh, dear.
stronger, smarter, and
Can you
possibly
please stop all this
vengeful.
bullshit and come
This
back home?
episode is more than just reactions.
But I'd like
it's
to
the
know
setup
what's
for the
going on
storm.
in his head.
Every character is making choices that'll ripple into the finale. Reg is running on borrowed time.
I'm trying to be back
Alicia's
out in the
planning her
street.
next takeover.
Rough as
Tucson
hell.
is closing
Borrowed
in.
names?
And Emmett.
Why
He's
would you
breathing,
confess to some
barely,
shit you got away
but
with?
breathing.
But
And that alone
I'm
is
willing to
enough to
humble
make the
myself
city
before
shake.
God and you.
Chicago's not waiting for
wanna be your
apologies or explanations anymore.
Dick
What
and
Reg
Gunn
did,
will be
that's a spark in a city already drenched in gasoline. The hood is restless. People are done being quiet. Corners that used
What
to be
happened to you
cool
being
are
celibate?
heating up. Eyes are everywhere. Guns are being loaded. And whether Reg likes it or not, he's
Isn't
now
a
the face of
competition.
betrayal. Folks are saying it loud in the
Doesn't have
streets.
to be.
He shot Emmett. Nah, he gotta go. There's no middle ground anymore.
Then
It's
we
war.
broke up, and
Nuck
now
feels that
they're
pressure
back
building. His moves are louder now.
You're a
He's
great
not
mom.
hiding his frustration.
Maybe I don't tell you that
When he
enough.
presses Jake up against
Some
that wall,
nigga from way
that's
back,
a
he's
power
trying to
play.
shake me for some
It's
money
not
'cause
just about
he did a bid
answers.
for me.
It's
Can
about
we
letting
trust you?
everyone know who still holds
Absolutely.
weight out here. And
I'm
when
gonna
Nut
change,
says
man.
the whole city's gonna be on Red's ass, he ain't
I'm begging
exaggerating.
you.
Word
Do
is
whatever
moving
it
fast through neighborhoods, crews,
what I've been
barbershops,
praying
and
for.
backdoor meetings.
That's
Reg
not how
messed
we
up,
operate.
and now he's surrounded. Only question
just
left
don't want us
is,
to become-
who's gonna be the one to pull the trigger?
Someone
Even
to
in
say
the
I'm
hospital
sorry.
halls, the energy is different.
Don't even worry.
It's tense.
You'll find love
You can
again.
feel the grief, but underneath
No,
it,
for real.
rage. Everyone
know.
Emmett ever touched is angry.
hope the
Kesha,
fans don't.
Darnell, Jada,
I ain't using
Tiffany,
it again.
Victor,
I'm already
Jake.
training
They all
someone
want
new.
answers. But most of all, they want someone
So
to
you
pay.
don't care?
This ain't the kind of pain that fades.
shit.
This is the kind of pain that fuels revenge. And even the calmest ones are losing
Everything
patience.
is.
Darnell
is
is
out
a
there. I
ticking
was gonna
time
tell the
bomb.
truth, this
He's
is
not just
the new
some
me.
old player anymore. He's a father in
It's just a
pain.
good time.
And when men like him hurt, they
What's
don't
about
cry.
this,
They act.
About
You can see it
financial
in how he
security?
paces, how he stares
Yeah,
at the
we've
hospital
been through a
floor.
lot.
He's
See, when
thinking
it's
back
gonna
on
be
every
enough.
moment with Emmett, every missed opportunity, every time he should have been more present. And now, all he
Because
sees is
Emmett
Red.
and I
If Red crosses
have a child.
Darnell's path right now, it's lights out.
I just wanted you
no
to know
talking,
me
no warning.
having all these kids
JADA
ain't
is
got nothing
different
to do
though.
with you.
Her strength isn't in rage, in presence.
shit.
She sits by Emmett's side with a calm that looks peaceful,
I could do it.
but it's not. It's deeper than that. It's the quiet strength of a mother who's been through hell and back, and now she's in it again. Cancer didn't take her out.
I
Life
want you
didn't
and EJ to
break
be a
her,
family
and she
again.
refuses
This
to let this
thing.
moment steal what's left of her peace. But make no mistake, if Jada
What's she?
finds out who did this to her son, she'll make sure that name is remembered.
I appreciate.
Not
Women
in
love you.
forgiveness, but in fury.
Where they at?
Meanwhile, Alicia is still doing what
Maybe
she
I
does
won't publish
best,
it.
plotting.
Then if
She's
you
not
don't
emotional
publish
like
it,
the rest. She
that's
sees
the thing.
opportunity
Only my
in
friends
tragedy.
can call
That's
me
why
that.
she shows up at the hospital
Hey.
with that so-called idea.
I'll be right
Because
back.
Alicia ain't wasting no crisis. She knows that
Come
Emmett
on.
getting hit gives her leverage. If people turn
decided
against Reg, and by
to break the
extension,
pact.
So y'all
Duda,
fucked?
Wait.
then the power structure shifts.
This
And
is
she's
never a
ready
good
to
time to
slide
bother
right
them.
in.
Serious?
You can see it in her body language.
Y'all judge
The
us
calm,
on our
the
bank
confidence.
accounts.
She's not mourning,
Yeah,
she's
we knew it
positioning.
too.
But Pastor Zeke, he ain't having it. That man has been trying to keep
What are
his
you
hands
doing?
clean since the
We
moment
decided to
he
work
stepped
things
into
out
this
so
mess. But now he's realizing there ain't no clean way to play dirty. Alicia tries to tell him that Emmett getting shot means there are no more rules. And Zeke fires back. Maybe it's you trying to make all the rules. That hit deep, because Zeke knows what she's doing. She's trying to manipulate grief for power. And he's done being a puppet. If Zeke finally breaks away from Alicia in this episode, best believe he'll be doing it with a sermon and a storm. Jake is going through it.
I don't know.
He's still trying to understand how things got so out of control so fast. One minute they're all trying to build something, businesses, families, peace, and the next, blood on the pavement. He's hurt, but more than that, he's confused. Reggie was his brother. Emmett was his friend. And now, one tried to kill the other. Jake's at a crossroads. He can't stand beside Reg anymore, but he also doesn't know where he fits without him. This episode is his reckoning. And it ain't gonna be easy. Victor, on the other hand, has made his choice. He's riding for Emmett. Period. He's already told Reg to get lost, and now he's doubling down. He knows Reg crossed a line, and he ain't about to let that slide just because they share blood.
That's what.
Victor's been through enough to know loyalty means something different now.
But I feel
it
like I
means
own
standing up
something
for the ones who truly got your back.
just don't
And
know
right
the
now, that's Emmett. Victor's done being passive. He's stepping into leadership whether he wants to or not. Tucson is moving like a sniper. She's not making noise. She's not giving warnings. She's just watching, studying, collecting pieces. When she sees Reg smoking on that stoop, she don't confront him. She don't shout. She just watches. Because she knows how this ends. Tucson's not the type to strike without cause. But once she's got the evidence, it's over. And the way things are looking, she might be the one to take Reg down not with a bullet, but with a badge. Let's not forget Damien, that walking headache. He's out here talking about guilt and promises like he didn't have a hand in all this. The fans are tired. The characters are tired. He's made too many mistakes. And now he wants sympathy.
And y'all judge us on how many bodies we got,
too late
and
for
that's
that.
getting old.
He's trying to clean his conscience. But the city doesn't care about feelings.
Shit.
It cares about consequences. And if Damien doesn't disappear soon, someone might do it for him.
How many kids
But
are
above
there?
all of this, above the politics, the grief,
Don't you think you
the
should let
betrayal,
your date
there's
order?
Emmett, still
I will
unconscious,
have
still silent,
dinner.
but still alive.
Okay.
And if that trailer is right, if that
You need
scene
me?
of him
A lot
hugging
for you.
Jada is still coming, then it
I'm
means
happy for
something.
you.
It means redemption is possible. It means love still has a chance. It means Emmett's fight ain't over. And when he wakes up, he's gonna find a city that's changed completely in his absence. The Chi
He's
has always been about
a man or
survival,
she.
but now it's about
Coming
justice.
over here.
The real kind, the messy kind,
love you
the
flaws
kind
in
that
the
doesn't
hall.
wait on a courtroom or a preacher. It's already in motion.
It'll just be a journey.
The only question is,
How the
who's
music
next?
What do you
Reg
want from
thought
me?
he could walk away from this clean. He thought
Second
shooting
chance?
Emmett would be the end of the problem. But in reality, it was just the beginning. Now he's looking over his shoulder every second, because the world he once controlled, it's collapsing. And the deeper we go into episode 9, the more obvious it
What do
becomes
you
Reg
want?
ain't just running from enemies. He's running from his past,
Only.
his guilt, and his time
It's getting
running
old.
out. Even his safe
No.
spaces ain't safe
I'm
no more.
realizing between
That
us we
smoke
got
session
4
on the
kids.
porch used to
Looking
be
at my
his
baby
place to
book.
think. Now, it's a setup. Detective Tusing's watching him like a hawk,
And he has
not
to
just
But I
because
got
she
it, babe, too.
suspects him,
Mom, what you
but
get?
because she remembers him.
Son?
She remembers
Let me know.
all the dirt he's done. And this time, she's not bluffing.
I will.
She's been quiet
Keisha,
for too long.
you should be
and with
happy for
Emmett
your mom.
down,
She
the
sacrificed
city
her
loud,
life.
and the pressure of about to apply real heat. The wild part is, Reg knows he messed up.
you really trying to stay
He
with
won't
your
say
mom?
it, not directly,
Few words,
but his body
but when
language
he
tells the
speaks,
story.
He tells
The hesitation, the way he avoids eye contact with Jake, the fact that he ain't pulled up on Victor again, it's all
Appreciate
guilt.
that. Yeah.
That bullet might have hit Emmett, but
long
it
as you
broke
came to
Reg
see some
too.
money.
Because no matter how hard he tries to
Why you
pretend,
hit at it?
deep down he knows
To
he
learn
didn't
from
deserve
you.
that. And Jake,
To make things right.
man,
Tangled with
Jake looked him
weed.
dead in the eye and said it.
What you talking
didn't
about?
have to shoot him.
I know.
That line right there, that one broke something in Reg. Because when your own
Just
brother
started.
sees you as the villain, where do you go from there? Meanwhile, Victor is stepping into that leadership role, whether he likes it or not. And it's
I'm
personal.
trying to
He
change
sees
my
how
life.
fragile the block is right now. One wrong move could set off a full-blown war.
I haven't seen
So
this
he's moving
book
smart, but firm. He's
in a
reaching out to the
long
right
time.
people, talking
With two
behind
different
closed
women.
doors. Trying to keep the peace while still making it clear Egg is done. You
Have I
can't
not
shoot a
taught you
man like
anything
Emmett and expect to keep walking these streets.
Hey, I'm here if you need me
that
to.
just ain't happening. And over at
Yeah,
the hospital,
Mom.
Kesha still hasn't left Emmett's side. Her eyes are dry now because she's not crying, but because she ran out of tears. She's in that stage of grief where silence
So
speaks louder
wait
than words.
and let him speak.
All she can do is hold
'Cause-
Emmett's hand and wait. But deep down, she's making promises to herself. Promises to God.
good for the mall?
Promises that if
heard.
Emmett survives, everything is going to change.
Also-
No more near-death
Sorry.
experiences. No more
Job has
fake
been
love.
filled.
Just truth, family, and peace if they're
What?
lucky enough to get it. Tiffany's still reeling. She already had her world flipped upside down when she saw Emmett and Kesha together again, and now this. It's too much. And then Alicia pulls up, calm, calculated, collected.
I gotta pass.
She's got that look on her face like she already knows what Tiff is feeling in. She's
What'd I
ready
get
to use it.
myself into?
Alicia, don't talk in circles. She hits hard with words, and she's got a pitch. Take the pain and turn it into power. And Tiff,
Calamari salad.
she might just listen. Not because she hates Emmett, but because she's tired of being powerless. Then you got Darnell. The man's walking
Don't
through
worry.
the hospital like
Your
a storm
mom will be
cloud.
in good hands.
He's
Show
not
us a
saying
new
much, but when he does speak, people listen. His pain is quiet, but deadly. He's watching doctors,
If you try to
questioning
push him,
nurses,
he'll
pacing
back
halls.
away even more.
And every time he sees his son, in that bed, something inside him tightens. The old Darnell, the one that used to dip in and out of
What's the
Emmett's
mom?
life, is gone.
Proposal.
What's left is a
Go from
father
being
who's ready
homeless
to
to
do
passing
whatever
out
it
checks.
takes.
A
And in
hustle.
episode 9,
And
you
I'll
might see
remember-
that old school energy return, the kind that don't talk it
Sarah.
acts. And Alicia, her reach is growing.
Gonna propose to your baby
With Tiff
mama
leaning
in
in,
front of your
with
mistress.
Zeke pulling back. She's slipping into power with ease. She talks about order, about structure, but let's be honest, she wants control.
So I just-
Dude, silence is giving her space. And if
Dude
she
asked
makes
me
the
to
right
kill you.
moves
I
now,
never rest
she
to
might
read.
just take the whole board. But that
Because I'm
tension with
saved,
Zeke is
I mean,
real.
I'm-
He sees her for what she is. He knows she's not mourning, she's maneuvering.
Didn't even know it.
And when he tells her that she's the one trying to rewrite the rules, that's the beginning of a new conflict. One that could shift everything. Baster Zeke is at a breaking point. He came into this trying to
Wait,
do good,
is you-
build a bridge between the church and the streets. But now, he sees that
What?
bridge burning. He's stuck between his love for the people and the game he's caught in. And now that Alicia's pushing back, Zeke has to decide, does he stay in
Not
this
what I
game,
wanna do with my
or does
life.
he step out completely?
I'm not happy, and you
Either
know
way,
it.
the choice will come with a cost.
So I
Damien
should
is
just
still
wait
walking around
and
like he wants
trust.
forgiveness. But let's be real, trying to hear it. The fans are tired of him.
You said
The
I could do
characters
it.
don't trust him. And his
Right,
promises
I'm
feel too
tripping,
late.
of course.
He's got
Jake
blood on his
said that
hands
you
too.
helped Jimmy get her new
Maybe not
spot.
literally, but emotionally. Absolutely. He gambled with people's lives. And
threatening
now the
me?
debt
No,
is
I've done
due.
my share of messy
He
shit,
says
but
he's
this
going
one
to
takes
change.
the cake.
Says he's going to make things right. But in the chi words don't mean nothing if your actions don't match.
To all the
And
bitches
then
in
there's
Chicago, you have to go and
Tucson,
fuck Keisha?
against your watching. Still waiting. She's connecting dots that nobody else sees. She knows this whole city is a
No, if you're
domino
such a
setup.
born-again
And once
Christian,
one
then why
piece
was you
falls,
willing to fuck
the
me
whole
in the
thing's going to collapse.
How you
And
were.
Reg, he's the loose piece.
Hell no.
Tucson knows if she takes him off the board the right way, maybe just
Look at me,
maybe
I'm
she
so
can stop
skinny.
the fall. But the biggest question still hangs in the air. Will Emmett wake up?
I had to take
That
a woman
one
on a
scene
date.
from the trailer, him hugging
Wait, not on a
Jada,
date?
showing that wedding ring, that's the hope. It hasn't happened
Anything I
yet.
can help with?
And as
Niggas
long as
home.
it hasn't aired, there's still a chance. But if he
Well, that
wakes
wing
up,
sure are
he's
nice.
not waking up the same man. Be reborn. And the way he moves after this, it's gonna
I just
shake
need
everybody, especially the
Time
one
for
who
what?
tried to take him out.
That when
Reg
he's
made a
ready,
choice, but the
he'll come to
city's
you.
about to respond. This ain't the Chi from a few seasons ago. Forgiveness used to be on the table. People used to
just
sit down,
dealing with a lot
talk
of
it
shit
out,
right now.
try to make
Yeah, I got
peace.
you. Black
But
love.
now, that
You ain't
option's
gotta
gone.
worry about me.
The
I
bullet
can
that
fend
hit
for
Emmett didn't
myself.
just tear through his body,
you-
it tore through any chance
Just a
of
question.
turning the other cheek.
Anything I
And
gave you,
episode
you should
9
say,
makes it
tell
painfully
you.
clear.
Of course you
This
told
city
me.
is done playing
I'm
nice.
her new
People want
Zag.
answers, but more than that, they
Man,
want
this smells
justice,
good in here.
even if it comes
You
soaked
cook.
in blood.
Whatever.
Reg
You're gonna
is
say you
running
don't
out
wanna
of
be my
space.
wife no more. Remember
Not
that?
just
Is that why
physically,
you doing
but
this?
spiritually.
No, but you moved
He's
on.
not
That's
safe in
right.
the streets, not welcome
Nigga
in
said
his
if I
old
don't kill
crew,
you.
and not even trusted
niggas.
by his own family.
Tired
Victor
of giving
won't
out my
answer his
energy
calls.
just for you to leave
Jake
for a
won't
little.
look him in the eye.
Ronnie like
And the
my
people
son
who
anyway.
once respected him,
I got
they're
it.
crossing the
Smile on
street
your
when they
face.
see him. You ever seen a man get exiled while still
I'm not
breathing?
gonna
That's Reg, right? Now, breathing, but already buried
No, I
in
can't
people's
believe you
eyes.
still wanna date his ass.
Victor's
Right now, I'm
transformation
really
is
sorry.
one of the most
do not wanna
powerful
date
arcs
your ass.
playing out in this moment. He's stepping into something deeper than politics.
You so rich,
It's
but most of
personal
your
now.
congregation's
He
poor.
used to try and
They're
balance
rich
things,
in
keep
spirits.
peace,
Let's
stay
take a
neutral.
chance.
But Emmett getting shot, that flipped the whole
You
board.
wanted me to be your wife.
Victor's done straddling
you didn't.
lines.
You was just scared.
He's
I
choosing
was scared.
sides. And when Victor chooses, he moves with conviction. He's already shut the door on Reg. Now he's working behind the scenes to stabilize what's left of the neighborhood.
Thing.
He's not out for
Especially when
blood,
both people are
but if
committed to
blood
making it
spills,
work.
he's not going to
Are
stop
you
it either.
offering me a place
Jake,
to lay my head?
meanwhile,
Yeah, 'cause you
is
can't come
going
in here
through a
messing in
silent
my
storm.
spot between us.
He can't believe the same man who raised him,
Without
who was his
depending whether
protector,
I have a
turned
place.
around
While
and almost
celebrating your
killed his
new
friend.
establishment.
That betrayal. It's
I
cutting
told her not.
deep.
Was in season?
Jake don't show emotion easily,
Okay.
but the way he's
But you got a
avoiding
taste
people,
for it.
walking
Thanks,
around in
Jake.
his head, it's clear he's spiraling.
I can't believe
This
this
ain't
shit.
just about Emmett anymore.
He's gonna kill
This
me.
is about everything Jake believed. In getting flipped upside down, and in episode 9, that
tired
pressure
of
might
going
just
broke
explode. Two Signs investigation is getting tighter. She's been watching Reg, but now she's watching everyone else too. Connecting dots
Always
between
running
Duda,
around with a big old-
Alicia, Zeke, Nuck. Every player is under the lens now. She knows this shooting
Darnell
wasn't
was gonna be
random.
here?
it was
No.
personal,
That's why you undressed
political,
her?
strategic, and
Talk amongst yourselves. Go
Tucson.
do
She's ready to
something.
put the truth on paper. Not just for the courts, but for the
Chicken's
city.
good. Chicken
The kind
good.
of truth that breaks silence and cracks
Why
foundations.
trying to get to work?
Alicia is still trying to capitalize. She's not wasting time.
I feel like I've been chasing you my whole life, and when I finally got you, I thought it was
leveraging
because...
emotions. That hospital visit to Tiffany wasn't just about comfort, it was recruitment. Alicia knows Tiffany is vulnerable, and right now, vulnerable people are powerful tools. She offers Tiff a sense of control, a chance to channel her pain into something bigger. And
this
Tiff,
church.
she's thinking about it.
What if you
Because
don't?
love didn't protect Emmett.
Please don't say shit
Loyalty
to
didn't
Tiff.
stop the bullet.
Please.
Maybe
I know how to
power
keep
will
it.
dot Tiffany isn't a villain, but she's not soft either. She's been disrespected, dismissed, and left picking up pieces more times than she can count. And now, seeing Emmett broken, seeing Kesha
Whoever hurt you, I'm
grieving,
not
something
that
inside her is shifting. She's not just a baby mama anymore. She's a woman with her own story, her own pain. And Alicia's giving her a way to turn that pain into purpose. Still pacing those hospital floors like a lion
If
in a
I did
cage.
want to
He's
date
trying
somebody.
not to snap. Trying not to
I'm
go back to
grown.
the man he
How
used to
did
be.
Nuck get
But the
invited?
rage is crawling under his skin. This ain't just about
I
losing
know
a son,
God
it's
wanted
about
me to
knowing
live
someone
like a
tried to
king.
take your legacy.
I was,
And
but I'm not
Darnell's
anymore.
legacy is Emmett. That's his boy.
Y'all,
And every beat from that heart monitor
we are
is like a
not from
ticking
the
clock in
South.
Darnell's chest. If Emmett doesn't make it, Darnell's going to lose himself. And whoever's responsible better pray they never cross paths.
Been doing since we was
Kesha
kids.
is holding on by faith. Her prayers have turned into whispers. Her strength is in her silence.
I know where your body's
But
at.
don't get it twisted. Tisha's watching everything, taking mental notes.
Well, I hope you got some
And
money
when
with
Emmett
that,
wakes
because ain't
up,
nothing in
her
here
next
for free.
move will be the most
Fucking not.
important one. Because love, after trauma, either builds something unbreakable, it shatters
you're a
for
dead
good.
man walking.
And if she gets
So
that
bitch,
second
6 months
chance,
later.
she won't let it slip. Meanwhile,
Gotta do now.
Damien's promise finally
go around
surfaces.
too.
He's out
No,
here
we gotta
talking
tell
about
Ted one of
change,
these.
redemption, making things right.
Emma.
But come on, what promise can undo the mess he made? You can't gamble with people's lives.
okay?
Let the city spiral, and then show up like you
And
had a
what's the
vision.
big deal?
But
He
I
wants
thought
to help,
Emmett was.
sure,
No,
but
he's
the truth
Tisha's
is,
boyfriend.
his
But
time to
don't-
leave
The young
passed
brother
when he
speak.
chose his addictions over
It
responsibility.
just don't seem fair to me.
And now, he's just another broken piece in a game that's already in
After
motion.
we got
The people he hurt might not
Y'all
forgive him,
good?
and honestly, maybe they shouldn't. And where's Duda in all this? Still quiet, still calculating, but silence from Duda means moves are happening. Behind locked doors, over private phone calls, whispered meetings.
Very
You
passive.
can bet he's looking at this chaos
And I'm
and
willing to
planning his
keep him
next
there.
empire play.
You go,
Because
baby.
if Reg falls
thanks,
and
babe.
Alicia rises, Duda's going to have to respond. And Duda
Especially
never
me.
reacts halfway. When
And
he
when I
moves,
left, was that
it's
Keisha you
big,
was dreaming about?
loud, permanent, and Emmett still fighting. His breath is
Maybe
shallow,
not.
his body still,
I
but
don't
his
wanna-
soul is holding on. That trailer moment of him hugging Jada is still hanging over every scene like prophecy.
What?
We haven't seen
no, we don't.
it yet, and that means his
Who would
story
that
is
be?
not over. Not yet. The hope is still alive, but when he wakes up, nothing will be the same.
There's
Not
only
for
one man
him,
you'll ever
not
need.
for Kesha,
Your son,
not
who
for the
worships
city.
and adores you. and I'll
Episode
be the
9
one
is
to
the
try to
breaking
keep up,
point,
girl.
the calm before the final storm.
Was
And
by
everyone, from the
Amen.
streets to the pulpit, is choosing
So
sides.
why can't they live like
Forgiveness
Mary,
is
everything
gone.
finally
Trust
started
is
to
dead.
make sense.
Yeah, and then you
revenge,
told me-
it's knocking at every door. There's a point in every war where people stop asking why it started and just start choosing who's going to finish it. That's where the South Side is now. The streets are loud again, not with music or laughter, but with whispers, threats, and rumors. You don't need a news crew
Only
to know
if
what's
you welcome me
coming.
back.
Just stand on the corner and listen.
No, you
The
can't.
people already
You
made up
can't
their
hold
minds.
water.
Reg crossed the line, and now everybody's waiting to
much do
see
you
who's
cost?
gonna make him pay.
Depends.
Nuck is tightening the noose. Every conversation he has
They're
feels
more-
like a
Kill you.
warning. Every step he takes
I
feels
don't wanna
like it's
kill
heading
anybody.
toward a funeral. but not Emmett's, Reg's, because
Let's see.
Nuck might have played Loki in the past, but not
She's
now.
my friend and
Emmett
she's
getting
your
shot
soon-to-be
flipped something in
ex-wife.
him. Nuck isn't doing this for politics or power, he's doing it for respect. Reg's action wasn't just reckless, it was insulting. You don't shoot someone like
raised my
Emmett
child.
and think the
You
city's
don't
gonna
even date
forget.
nobody.
And it's not just Nuck.
Me neither.
Even people
They
who
need
weren't
to be
close
with
to
one
Emmett
person
are taking
and
notice.
sit there.
Because Emmett
And it is my
represented more
job
than
to give
himself,
my
he was part of
congregation
that rare
something to
hope in the
fuck
G,
because
the
I wanted
dude
to
who
be
tried
real
to
with you.
legitimize
Well, I
his
wanna be
life,
real with you
take
too.
care of his kids, do right by the people
I
around
guess.
him. So when
Did you
Reg
get my
pulled that
tape?
trigger,
Yeah.
he didn't just shoot Emmett. He shot the idea that maybe, just maybe, things could get better. And people don't forgive that. Meanwhile,
wasn't
Alicia's
your
game
fault.
is gaining traction. She's speaking softly,
So I don't really
moving,
have a
quietly,
choice.
but her influence is growing fast.
Hey,
The way
over
she
here, we coming
talks,
through for movie night.
calculated, the way she
Since when?
moves, like chess,
What you want?
not checkers. She
I
ain't
need a
getting
chef in my-
emotional. She's getting strategic.
you.
And in episode 9, you can feel the shift people are beginning
It's
to
not that you
follow her,
wanna kill
even
me,
if they
you
don't
can't.
trust her. Why? Because Alicia offers direction,
We could go
and in a
back
time
to
when
my
everything
place.
feels
Right now,
like
she
it's
living
falling
with some
apart,
random nigga.
direction
He's not
starts to
random,
look like
I think.
salvation. But don't get it twisted. She's not out here to save anybody. Alicia's looking at the power vacuum left by Duda's silence and Reg's collapse,
Now I
and
see
she's
why you
filling
got
it.
all them little girls
One
running
loyal
after you.
follower at a
Ass
time.
down.
She knows Tip
my
is the
father
key to
was
that
married to my
emotional
mother.
vote.
So if I believe
The
I'm rich, I
audience
will be.
sympathizes with Tip.
It's not that easy.
The crew respects her, and if she aligns with Alicia,
I
it's
don't think I
going to
wanna be
create
a
a
wife
whole new
anymore. You didn't
alliance
get the
on the south
cranberries?
side, one that's not built on fear like Duda's, or chaos like Reg's, but on organized control. That's Alicia's style. Quiet, ruthless, effective, and then we've got Zeke.
I'm
Still
sorry
stuck in the
I didn't come
middle.
back.
He doesn't want to be a puppet, but he also can't let go of the
Dude.
responsibility he feels. Especially now.
Woman who knows her
Emmett
way
was more
around
than a
the
member of the
Hey,
community.
everybody.
He was a symbol.
hate him.
Zeke preached hope from the pulpit, and now that
you
hope's
that
in the
dude that used to
ICU.
work with Frank.
And when Alicia pushes him too hard, he starts to see it clearly. She ain't about healing. She's about domination. So Zeke's spirit starts to fight back. Maybe not with fists, but with
He's the
truth.
one for
And
her.
in a city drowning in
That's cool.
lies,
Why are we talking
that's
about them
dangerous.
Because we
Jake's
can't.
caught in the crossfire of his
baby.
own mind. He's loyal by nature, but now that loyalty's split in half, Reg raised him. Emmett respected
you when
him,
you're older,
and
Reg.
now one almost killed the other.
Ooh,
Jake's
the whole time,
not
but I
ready
can't
to
tell you
forgive
he was
either
loyal
side.
to her.
Not
That's
Kesha
'cause
for
folks
taking
knew
Emmett back.
Kings and queens.
Not Reg for
They
pulling the
can.
trigger.
They just have to
And
believe
not
it.
himself for not stopping it. So he does what young men often do when the pressure gets too
Oh,
loud, he
no,
goes
I just
silent.
not saying
But don't
this.
confuse silence with peace. Jake's mind is a battlefield right now, and by the end of episode 9, he might just explode. Tucson is about to make her
Fine.
move. She's been patient, tracking Reg's every
Yeah.
step, watching who visits, listening to phone
Welcome
calls.
back.
Now the pattern's becoming clear.
I'm right here on the
She
corner.
knows
Where you
where
at?
he sleeps, where he eats, where he
What's that
hides.
then?
She
Yeah,
knows he's scared. And scared men
Maybe.
make sloppy mistakes. And the moment he does, she'll be there. Because Tucson
You don't
doesn't
have
miss
it
when
in
it
you.
counts. And this time, she's not just trying to
gotta
lock
get
him
your
up,
shit
she's
together.
trying to shut him down.
That's what I'm trying
And
to do.
Damien, he keeps
Alright, then
popping
we're
up like a
together, Emmett.
ghost no one asked for.
Tip didn't tell me shit.
Talking about how he's gonna change, how he's gonna fix things. But no one's listening anymore. Damien had his shot.
You were just as
He
beautiful.
lost it, and now
Pinky
the
swear,
damage he
you
helped
won't
cause
ever
is
date.
too deep to patch.
Some
People
shit.
like him think a
Yeah,
promise
but there
is
was
enough.
so much
But in the
lies and
G, a
deceptions
promise
when we were
without
coming. I won't
action
even
is just
talk to you.
noise. And the block's
Don't
too loud
disrespect my
already.
wife.
At the heart of all this, though, is still Emmett, still lying there, still holding on. His body might be weak, but
In
his
the
presence
can.
is strong. Every character in this episode is acting because of him. Every decision, every betrayal, every alliance, it all points
Yeah,
back to
but-
Emmett. That's how important he
I
is.
should have tried the.
He's
That's
the
what I
thread
thought.
holding this show together. And even in silence, his influence is shaking.
said it was
The
cool.
city, that scene from the trailer, him hugging Jada,
Rest in power,
holding that
you know?
ring is like a
Please.
prophecy we haven't
He
reached
wasn't
yet.
shit.
And fans are clinging to that moment like a lifeline. Because if Emmett wakes up, there's still hope.
Could've killed somebody
Not
if I
just for
wanted
him,
to.
but for the whole show. His survival could be the thing that breaks the cycle or restarts it. Either way, when his eyes finally
gotta say shit to
open,
her.
everything changes. And Reg, he can feel that shift coming. You can see it in his body. He walks
Emmett,
slower.
what?
He talks less.
Yeah, my friend.
Because no matter how many
Back
guns
then,
he
the love
carries,
wasn't supposed
no
to
matter
be
how
easy.
tough he tries
You
to
really
act,
had to go
he
through.
knows his time is almost
disrespecting me first.
up.
Jake,
The only question
don't.
now is, who's going to pull the plug? This episode doesn't just build tension, it pushes it to the edge.
No.
Everyone's next move matters, because the storm
You
is
know
coming, and no one's getting out dry. Time is running out for Reg, for Duda, for everyone
up.
who's been playing both sides.
I'm here.
Episode 9 turns the heat all the way up. Every character feels it, and the ones who thought they had
keeping it in the
control,
family, huh?
they're starting to sweat.
Don't make him no angel.
This ain't just street drama anymore.
You ready to eat?
This is full-on collapse. The kind that shakes foundations. The kind where secrets come to light,
bless everything
alliances
before I
crumble,
eat it.
and somebody always ends up in a casket. Reg can't hide from what he did, not even from himself. He keeps reliving
That's
that
why
moment
they get
Emmett on
along
the
so
floor,
well.
bleeding,
Yeah,
gasping,
they do
looking
seem
up
to
at
be.
him with that
Don't
confused,
what?
hurt expression.
Nothing.
And the wildest part,
Some
Reg didn't even
organic
mean for it to go that
cranberries.
far. He was trying to send a message. But what he did was light a match in a city full of dynamite. And now he can't stop the fire. He's walking around like a man already dead, just waiting for the bullet or the badge to come for him. Nuck wants him gone. Point blank. There ain't no talking left to do. Nuck gave Reg a chance to fall in line.
Damn, I ain't gonna
Reg
just talk about
answered
a
with a
dead man like
gunshot.
that.
And
Just
in
'cause he
this
dead,
world,
he
that
tried
means
and
war.
he failed.
Nuck's voice, in this
But I could've-
episode, cuts sharp
And
calm,
I'm not
but
gonna
filled
pray
with venom.
before we
When he
have
tells
sex,
Jake that
baby.
Reg is done, he means it. Nook don't bluff. He makes statements with consequences.
These kids
And
are
the
so
consequence
upfront
now,
about
Reg
everything.
being
Maybe
erased, not
Well,
exiled.
I, for one,
erased.
am thankful.
Meanwhile, Tusing's
for-
been
will not
gathering
be
her
eating
case
that,
like
so
a
you need to
hunter
go back to
watching
the
prey.
store and get me
Every